The banks that have not started are actually behind, and contracted intelligence is a must-have as it is delivering significant competitive advantages.
Can banks wait? And when should they begin this journey if they haven't already?
Enabling them to think about and ask questions about their contracts that they haven't done before and to better manage their obligations.
How banks can manage the challenges that they're facing today in the industry, adapt to change while building for the future.
And in developing those use cases to measure as you execute and implement the new capabilities and being able to show real value and real results to continue to expand their solutions across the enterprise.
Hello and welcome back to our Icertis Industry IQ video blog series, brought to you by Accenture, Microsoft, and Icertis. This series is designed to provide you with actionable insights to manage the challenges that are facing the banking industry today, supported by discussions with leading industry and technology experts. My name is Jeremy Scaling. I am the Director of Product Marketing for the Financial Services vertical here at Icertis, and I'm happy to be hosting our discussion again today. In this series, we're talking about contract intelligence to help banks overcome the challenges they face today, meet their goals for 2023 while building for the future. And in today's session, we'll dive deeper into the business value that banks are recognizing with contract intelligence. To further our discussion, I'm joined today by Fred Kim from Accenture. Welcome, Fred.
Thank you, Jeremy. I'm excited to be here.
Fred, would you like to introduce yourself again to the audience?
Happy to. Hi, everyone. My name is Fred Kim, and I'm a managing director at Accenture, and I oversee our North American finance and risk services for the banking industry, and I'm our global contract lifecycle management and contract intelligence Icertis practice lead.
Thank you, Fred. It's great to have you with us today on the discussion as part of our video blog series. And as we get into our discussion today, can you share the priorities that you are hearing as you're out speaking with your banking clients?
There are a number of priorities our clients are focused on. And simply put, they are really focused on driving costs out of their business. They're looking to improve their speed to revenue, at the same time looking to reduce the risk that they face and demonstrate compliance along their entire end-to-end set of processes.
And what challenges may be blocking banks from being able to meet these priorities?
The banks face many challenges. Let me just share a few of them. The first one is that there are a plethora of contract types and templates that the banks have today. Because of large quantities, oftentimes in the hundreds, has made it very difficult and onerous to do contracting at the banks. Another one is that there are many businesses that have their contract management capabilities in silos with very fragmented processes. This is a result to many of the mergers and acquisitions that they have done over the years. Another one is that they face long cycle times due to the highly manual processes. And finally, with a lack of standard contracts and clauses to start the contracting processes, there are many iterations during negotiations.
To meet these challenges, from your perspective, Fred, how can contract intelligence help banks?
Yeah, there are a number of benefits that contract intelligence can provide the banks. The first is that CLM will enable businesses to know their clients and their entire set of commitments, as well as their entitlements. Another one is providing process automation. So, for example, integrating their contract intelligence process with key servicing and other operational platforms. So think about it, if you're in trade management, you can verify a trade with an existing contract before permitting it. Being able to automate this process would have a significant impact to this part of the business. Another one is enabling business rules-driven governance, thinking about who reviews and who approves the contracts, having clear traceability, and being able to make adjustments based on where there are more complex and risky contracts. And then finally, how do you effectively mitigate risks across the entire process?
And speaking of risks, perhaps you could expand on that, how, from a risk management perspective, banks can benefit from contract intelligence.
Interestingly, contracts hold a lot of data that is vital to risk management and regulatory compliance. Risk management can benefit from contract intelligence in many ways. Let me share you a few examples. The first is third-party risk management. Fundamentally, this is focused on preventing the bank from doing business with organizations that they should not be doing business with. Therefore, being able to monitor clients from the contract data, and if they are approved and should no longer be doing business with the bank, you'll be able to take the appropriate actions on a timely basis. Another example is during client onboarding. As part of KYC, beneficial owners are identified and assessed, and then included and aligned to specific contracts. Similar to TPRM, the beneficial owners can be monitored and their performance assessed, and you can, if there's something negative, you can take the appropriate actions as needed. And finally, it's compliance. For example, setting up a set of business rules to define pathways for contracts to enable compliance. So for example, if there is an opportunity to do business in a country deemed high risk, you could apply additional set of reviews and approvals, thus mitigating the risks engaging in that new opportunity.
That's great. Perhaps we could shift to regulation and ask, how can contract intelligence help banks to be nimble and adapt to changes on the regulatory front?
The real challenge here is identifying the population of rules and standards to align to the regulations that the bank is focused on, and really understand that scope as you're contracting and running compliance before determining what the actions that should be taken. There are many regulations that banks face, but I'll just highlight three of them. Third-party risk management regulations. Another one is around Dodd-Frank and MiFID requirements. And let's not forget the changes of transitioning off of LIBOR over the recent past.
We've certainly touched on a lot of value that banks can recognize from contract intelligence. From your perspective, Fred, can banks wait? And when should they begin this journey if they haven't already?
Well, firms that have started are realizing benefits and moving up the maturity curve. The banks that have not started are actually behind, and contract intelligence is a must-have as it is delivering significant competitive advantages, such as negotiation being more effective and quicker in the past to enable, faster time to revenue. Being able to view your contracts across the enterprise, being able to adjust your pricing strategies. Another one is being able to review all the contracts, as your negotiations, mergers and acquisitions. And there's a plethora of other examples. But clearly, based on several of these, you can see why this is a must-have.
Great. And as we begin to wrap up, if firms have started a program and should accelerate or haven't yet started a program, how should they be thinking of this, and how can they really begin to go faster or to jump into this project of contract intelligence?
When driving digital transformation across the bank is strategically important to banks, and contract intelligence should be an integral part of that. As banks are thinking about this, it is a lot more than the systems and redefining the processes. Contract intelligence means shifting the organization, enabling them to think about and ask questions about their contracts that they haven't done before, and to better manage their obligations. Contract intelligence also helps banks identify how they can maximize the value from their contracts, and by defining the use cases, objectives they haven't done before that they are very interested in solving today. And looking across the enterprise and the personas who will benefit from it. We often hear from our clients, they're challenged with limited budgets. What is important for them to think about is developing a value case up front, understanding the economics, understanding the processes, understanding the timeliness of decisions. What are the use cases expected to enable? And then developing those use cases to measure as you execute and implement the new capabilities, and being able to show real value and real results to continue to expand their solutions across the enterprise. If there's interest in tactically how to do this, we can go to that into detail as well.
Thank you, Fred. I appreciate you joining for the conversation today. And it was great to discuss with you how banks can manage the challenges that they're facing today in the industry, adapt to change while building for the future. And for our listeners, thank you for exploring contract intelligence with us and how it can benefit your entire enterprise. Icertis, Microsoft, and Accenture, we're here and ready to engage with you to help address the constantly changing market and help you to prepare for whatever is next. You can learn more on our website at icertis.com/BFSI and use the contact form if you'd like to reach out to us. Thank you for your time. If you've missed the other video blogs that we've created, please do take a few minutes to watch them at your convenience. And again, appreciate you taking the time to join us today. We look forward to hearing from you.